So this week, we're going into working with buyers. What we're going to break down is the buyer consultation, home shopping, offer submitting and acceptance, and the journey through settlement. One thing I do highly recommend is that you always start with the buyer's consultation, because time is money. Spend time before you've even stepped foot into a home, breaking down the do's and don'ts and the process with your client, and you are going to save yourself not only time, aggravation, money, headaches. It is the most important part of working with buyers. So we'll go into the buyer consult, and I added down here, is your client ready? That's what you're trying to figure out here. And odds are, whether they're a first-time home buyer, they've done this before, maybe they're not 100% ready. Maybe they're 99% ready. Maybe they're 75% ready. That's for you to figure out. That's for you to help them figure out. Because remember, you don't have to live in this home. They do. It's not your money that's being invested in this home. It's theirs, right? So finding out, is your client ready? Personally, I'm a two-step, but there is a one-step and a two-step buyer consultation that typically takes place, okay? And during that consultation, you want to understand your client's finances, basically, essentially pre-qualifying them. Or what you could do is send them straight to the lender to get pre-approved and then come back for the consultation. Now, I've been doing this long enough. So for me, I like to pre-qualify because I don't want to waste my lender's time. If I know that my clients aren't liquid, that their credit score needs a lot of improvement, that they just aren't ready, but they're just asking questions, I'm not going to send them to my lender. I'm not going to recommend they get pre-approved. It's only going to hurt their credit. Does that make sense? Right. So that's why I like to pre-qualify. That's my first step. It's usually a 10 to 15-minute conversation, no more, no less. I want to know, based off of, again, my experiences, whether it's worth recommending that they go out there and get pre-approved. Because remember, I don't want to hurt my clients, but I'm the professional here. And I'm going to ask them questions that they may not be comfortable answering, but they're going to get comfortable. Right? This process, you need to establish trust in the process from day one. So I go on to state that the goal of pre-qualifying and understanding your client's finances will help save time. Right? So you can fast track to the lender if you want. But for me, I want to know they need time to save for that down payment, to save for closing costs, right? Understanding additional associated costs with the purchase. For example, all the out-of-pocket expenses. Are they working with an attorney? Maybe they have the closing costs. Maybe they don't have the down payment. Maybe I can get them assistance. Maybe I can't. Understanding the market and the type of terms that we can create to try to help get them to the settlement table. But understanding that they do need some skin in the game. Inspections, attorneys, appraisals, things of that nature. That's what the consultation is all about. You want to talk about it. Talk about the process. So process explaining. Are their finances in order? Market explanation and expectation. Because let's be honest, the conversation that I'd had with my clients 2 years ago is not the conversation I'm having with my clients today in this market. It's different. Explaining to my client, depending geographically speaking, where you are, where you're watching this from, what state you're in, it's going to differ. But generally speaking, 2 years ago, my clients had to be liquid. You almost had to be conventional or cash to get an offer accepted. You had to be able to bring cash to the table to make up differences if you were going to offer over ask, which for the record, you should still be doing today. That was never new. That whole bringing the cash to the table thing, for those who've been licensed over the past, who are recently licensed or have been licensed over the past 2 or 3 years, that was never new. All it was magnified over the past 2 to 3 years, okay? Things have changed. So that's why explaining this to my clients when they were buying during COVID, when they were buying during the pandemic, explaining to them exactly how this market was reacting, especially with their set of financing terms, that saved them a lot of headache moving forward. I mean, to the point, I was able to figure out and help my clients dictate before we even step foot in a home how much cash they had. As far as reserves were concerned, I said, put away your down payment, put away your closing costs. I get it. You're conventional, you're 20% down, XYZ. You got, now tell me how much more money you have in the bank. Okay. I need to know these things. And I went on to explain why. I explained to my clients during a buyer's consultation, just because you're approved for $500,000 doesn't mean you're getting $500,000. You would be surprised. I've had clients before in the past, and I'm talking years ago, before I took my time explaining what we would assume is such common knowledge, but it's just not. We got to remember, we're the professionals. It may be common knowledge to us, but it's not to everyone else. But my clients believe that since they were approved for $500,000, they could buy a home for $200,000 and they get to pocket the $300,000 to make improvements or to do whatever they want. Now, we may laugh about that, but that's serious. That's not the first time something like that has happened. What about, well, we're going to offer, we're approved for $500,000, but we're approved for $1 million. But we're going to offer, let's say, let's take that back. Let's make it easy. Let's say the list price is $250,000. They're approved for $300,000, right? They're just going to offer $300,000. That's a $50,000 difference between list and offer. Well, how do they intend on making up that difference? Well, I'm approved for $300,000. What does it matter? Wrong. What happens is that the bank is going to approve you for the lesser of the two. That being the contract sale price or the appraised value. Guys, it's about breaking down this process to your client before you step foot in the home. It's all going to be dependent on the market. So you're explaining the market as it stands. Understanding. So it's a two-step, right? Understanding your client's finances. Then submitting offer with the right terms, right? Process explaining. And here's a tip. Be someone you'd want to work with. Now, look, sometimes being truthful may seem hard and insensitive, but the truth is what your clients need to hear. Read that again. The truth is what your clients need to hear. This is a real live scenario. So yes, they may love the home. Here it is. But after 24 hours on market, submitting an FHA offer with $7,000 back on a home being sold as is, where is, on an inhabitable property that's bank owned, well, may not get accepted. This is real life scenario. This is what we're dealing with, okay? Well, why is that? Well, understand, it's where is, as is. It's only been on the market for 24 hours. It's probably an investor special. You're asking for $7,000 back from the bank. And by the way, you being FHA, understand that you are now responsible not only for any lender repair requests, because it's as is, right? And you are going to have repairs. It's clear that the home is inhabitable. It's missing windows, right? Well, what about the township issues? They become the buyer's issues. And I already know my client isn't liquid. They don't have enough cash. That's why FHA was the best plan of attack for them. That's what they qualified for. So no, this isn't going to work. I'm not here to make everybody happy at the same time. Well, it's your job to submit the offer. No, wrong. That's wrong. Just because your client wants you to submit an offer, is that your job? Yes, absolutely. But if you cannot explain to your client why this is not going to work, then you have bigger problems. So yes, The truth is what your clients need to hear. Protect your time. It is extremely important, extremely imperative. That's the buyer's consultation, right? Guys, explaining, educating your clients through that process. Anybody want to add anything or have any questions before I go on to the next section? Or anything to add? Don't worry. I'll edit this part out. All right. Home shopping. Take your time. Do it right. We've made it through the buyer consultation. Your clients are ready. They're approved. They know what to expect. Okay. But as a friendly reminder, let's make sure we have that pre-approval and that proof of funds for cash buyers ready. We can't submit an offer without it. Let's just always keep in mind, we are not running clients without understanding the finances. Can't submit an offer without it anyway. Keep in mind, proof of funds should match the names on the contracts. Okay. Not should, they need to. That's extremely important. And introduce yourself to the lender from day one, because maybe you're not working with one of your preferred vendors. Okay. So you're working with somebody else. We'll find out who that lender is and introduce yourself. Really important. But let's understand our clients' needs. Because there's a couple questions you're going to want to ask. What areas are you interested in? How soon do you want to move? What are your needs and wants? What are your must-haves? And what can you live without? So try to paint this picture with your client. Unfortunately, buyers are liars, and these things might change. Your client might tell you they want a townhome in Middletown, New Jersey, 3 beds, 1.5 bath, and with a pool. The association has to have a pool. And a week later, they're sending you detached homes in Belmar, New Jersey, that are Cape Cods with about half the square footage that they wanted. It happens. The point is, it happens. Right? But taking time with your clients, jumping on a Zoom call, which is one way I will do the consultation also. I'll do it over the phone or I'll do it via Zoom. And showing your clients what exists, this is going to save you a lot of time in the future. Why are they changing their minds? Well, they're changing their minds because what they want doesn't exist. Well, let's try to eliminate that. Let's hop on a Zoom together. Let me share my screen. Let me open up the MLS. Let's put in your search criteria together. Guys, through the buyer's consultation in home shopping, we've still yet to step foot into a home and look at all that we're doing. So we're on the Zoom, we're creating criteria, we're putting in their budget, which we know what they're looking for is probably unrealistic, but they don't know that yet. And if we just tell them over the phone, yeah, well, good luck with that, right? No, that's not being proactive about it. Let's get on a call together. Let me show you. So this is all that you're looking for. And there's about 3 options and you hate them all. Okay.
Hey,
So what you
Jessica, how are you today?
so what you thought you wanted.
I'm good. I
Hey, Sean,
tried
you
to
want to mute yourself?
transfer money from a Venmo account to my First National Bank account,
All right, let me go ahead and
and my wife was helping me, and I think we put in,
let me go ahead and
we
mute
missed the
Sean.
last number or 2 of the account number. So I was wondering if you could help me.
Mute Sean. Okay. Oh, whoa. While we're on home shopping, Maria Lauren, something you want to add? Because I can't see everybody.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to add it, but the baby was screaming in the background. Then you were like, "Oh, I'll edit this part out."
No, go for it.
Yeah, I wanted to add that I used to think in my naiveness when I first started, like, Mike likes to scare the buyers. Like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to scare them. They're not going to want to buy. But, like, no, you need to scare them. You need to scare the ever living, you know what, out of them. And that will make them honestly trust you more and be prepared as much as possible. So I feel like every new buyer I get, I feel like I get more and more scary. Like, okay, now I'm going to scare you about this, but don't worry, don't be scared, but we're going to go over everything you need to be aware of.
No, but it's true, right? Like we think it's being truthful. Again, it may seem insensitive, but really what it boils down to is you got to protect your time. And the more educated your clients are from the beginning of the process, I'm telling you guys, the level of respect that literally enhances for you, that you're going to get in return from your clients by doing these things, you know what it's going to lead to? It's going to lead to future business. It's going to, that trust is already found before you step foot in a home, right? It's going to lead to referrals. Be honest. Yeah, scare them a little bit. There's plenty of clients that I have personally shelved. I've put on ice. You aren't ready. And if you think you are, and you still just want to go out there and look at homes because you think this is a hobby of mine, and I'll be the first one to tell you guys, right? I love what I do. I had a buyer consultation. I shouldn't even say a consultation. Message my wife. I was on the phone at 8:30 last night. I had a past client refer me to one of his best friends, his best man. And I was breaking down the process with my client who's referring me the business. He's so good because of the time I spent with him. He's already prepared. Before I've even had the consultation, he's already preparing his friend on the conversation that he's going to have with Mike in the future. I think we've already agreed to put him in a brand new new build, new construction. I think we've already got the home sold, and I haven't even spoken to the client yet. Right? This is what happens when you take the steps, when you are proactive, right? It makes sense. Scare them a little bit. Maybe they're ready, maybe they're not. But back to when we're jumping on these Zoom calls and we are having these conversations and we're showing them and we're providing all this additional value. Think about how much work you've already put in. Really, I want you to think about it. Or how much work that you've saved yourself. Now, do you think your client who has just been pre-approved, you got them pre-approved, they send you a list of homes, you haven't had any conversations, they don't understand the process, we haven't talked about financing, terms, market expectation, we haven't created a drip, your client's now just sending you homes from day one. You haven't even created a search for yourself. Maybe you've asked a few prerequisite questions, maybe you haven't. How much time do you think you're going to spend with this client? How much value have you added to this client's life? Next to none. And you know what happens? They're in control. You want to be in control from day one. You want to work together. You don't work for them. They don't work for you. You work together because you have a common goal. Okay. This more, and obviously leaning more in the direction of your client because they have to live in the home or they're going to invest in the home. It is not for you to invest, right? It's for them. But knowing that it's not your money, so you take that part, you add it into the equation, you lead like a professional would lead. You add value from day one. Because if you're not doing all of these things, you're going to find yourself showing this client homes for months. They're going to get offers rejected. They're not going to understand why because you never set any expectation. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to think it's you. It's your fault. You're not good at your job. By the time I've explained this process to my clients during the consultation, before we even head out, and we're creating that search, the home shopping search, my clients could basically be licensed at that point. That's how much time I put into this. Yes, they could probably do this themselves. Go out there, take the test. And I've had plenty of clients who have joined our team in the past because they had such a great experience. But the point is, that's my goal. I want them to be a professional. Now, I know we're not talking about sellers, we're talking about buyers. But as a sidebar, as a side note, same thing when you're working with a seller. They live in those homes. Your job is within that half an hour, 1 hour consultation, presentation. You want to be a professional in that home. You want to feel like you've been living there all your life. Yeah, to the extent that obviously we're not going to be aware of everything, material defects, but at the end of the day, it's like flipping, right? Okay, now you're asking all these driving questions, so you're a professional on that. But let's stick to home buying because I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay. Number 4, offer submitted and accepted. Now's the time. So, submitting. Make sure, guys, all the finite details are covered and any outstanding questions are answered prior to you submitting your offer. Okay? Contact your client and the listing agent. With your client, you want to make sure that they understand what's about to happen and that these are contracts we are headed for. I cannot emphasize on that enough. This is not a game. We see it way too often now. I see it on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. I hear the nightmares. Buyers want to pull out after inspections. Buyers want to pull out after the commitment is due. Buyers want to pull out a week prior. These are contracts. Time is of the essence. Understand that. Is your client ready? I'm not saying make them nervous at this point, but this is not a game. And with the listing agent, of course, you want to build rapport, right? I think I spelled it report over here, but don't judge me. Confirm availability and find out if there's anything you can do to help your offer stand out. Dan goes over this ad nauseum in Danalytics when he's talking about how to help get your buyers' offers accepted. Build rapport. Find out, is there anything that the seller is looking for above and beyond a traditional offer? Are there any terms that we can add, right? Now, with that being said, sometimes it's just not that easy. The listing agent really doesn't care to spend the time on the phone with you, albeit they have a fiduciary responsibility to their seller. It is what it is. Guys, another reason why we started this organization was to change the landscape of this industry, to educate agents, to be better. And unfortunately, not every single agent is part of our organization. Not every single agent is here at EXP. And we can't control their businesses. We can only control ours. So we always want to be better. But if you have an opportunity to build that rapport, do a little digging, a little research. If you can get that listing agent on the phone, go for it. Okay. Review your terms, though, with your clients. Financing, closing dates. Do they need seller's assistance? Is there any contingencies that you're going to have to put in place? I have agents come to me all the time. Well, how do I ask for X? How do I ask for Y? There's not an addenda for this. There's not an addenda for... Spell it out. When in doubt, spell it out. It does not matter. Now, depending on what state you're in, most states, if not all of them, will have additional contractual provisions. Spell it out. Don't just put it in the offer, put it in the contract, depending if you're here where you're located here in New Jersey. Once you cross that imaginary Central Jersey to North Jersey line, the offers are submitted on contracts, fully prepared contracts. They're not fully executed, fully prepared. Spell it out. You've got a specific set of terms, spell it out. Put it in writing. Protect yourself, protect your client. There's no hearsay in contracts. And leave no stone unturned. Full offers. Guys, you want to make your client's offer stand out, right? Be professional. Do not send something with missing information. Please don't. It could be the dumbest little detail. You forgot your license. No. Full offers, whether they're contracts or not, the pre-approvals, the cash, the proof of funds, contact info for the lender's title and attorney. Be better. Be better when submitting that offer. You know what they say, right? You only have one job. Submit the offer and get it accepted. Now, hey, look at that. Acceptance. It's been accepted, and now what? Well, look, we're going to get into timelines, but you can celebrate if you want to. Do I get my clients all excited once their offer's been accepted? Heck no. I don't. No. As a matter of fact, this is nothing. This is nothing at this point, okay? But it's been accepted. Now what? Well, speaking as a licensed professional, keep all your files and documents in order, please. Upload them into SkySlope. Remain in compliance with EXP and your state real estate commission. So important. And this, once that offer has been accepted, like the buyer consultation, the intro correspondence email to me is absolutely everything. Create an introduction email connecting all parties in the transaction. This is paramount. Make sure all contact information is provided. This holds every single professional accountable from day one. A smooth transaction is the best transaction. Are they all going to be smooth? No. Are they all going to have issues? Yes. But creating that introduction from day one, putting title on there, right? The clients on there, the listing agent, the listing agent's assistant, the attorney for the buyer, the attorney for the seller, the title company, the lender. Goodness, putting everybody together, connecting all parties, creating that correspondence. And one thing I always add is I ask everybody, all please reply. Everybody please reply all. Okay, that they've received. They're in receipt of this message. Again, I'm holding them accountable all over again. Really, really, really important, because you've got contracts, you've uploaded them into SkySlope. That's great. And, it's a weekend and you're busy and life, that hits you. And it's Tuesday of the following week and we're halfway through attorney review, but nobody even knows what's going on. Well, guys, this is, when I say paramount, I mean paramount. Connect all parties from day one. You'll thank me later. I don't care if the deal can still die during attorney review. Does not matter. Connect them from day one. Okay, next, the journey. And fun starts now. Things speed up just to slow down. This is the journey through settlement, okay? Timelines. Guys, review per your state and your agreement the timelines with your client. Is there an attorney review? What are the inspection periods? When's the mortgage commitment due if it's not cash? When's the settlement date? Put all of these dates, all of these periods, put them in your calendar. Do yourself a favor. Color code them per client. Whatever you have to do, please don't forget. Don't think your client has read all 17, 20, 30, 50 pages of the contract, depending on what state you're in, and they're fully aware of these things. You need to be fully aware of these things, especially if you're not using an attorney. And if you are using an attorney, you should know these dates. You should know these timelines. Time is of the essence. And again, once you're outside of those timelines, those timeframes, it's very hard to get out of a deal or to ask for something that you have no right asking for because, well, expiration has passed. But you want to make a change to the contract, but you're outside of attorney review and you're not using an attorney? Well, could you still do it? Of course, if all parties agree. But are both parties obligated? Is the other party obligated to agree? Can it be negotiated? No, absolutely not. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Sure, it happens. But understand these timelines. Make sure your clients understand these timelines. Reminder, are you using an attorney? If you aren't, that's completely fine. I recommend every one of my clients uses an attorney. But just please never answer any legal questions, whatever you do, unless you are, if you're a licensed attorney, you've passed the bar. Don't answer any legal questions. It's not within your scope of work. Understanding the contract, being able to answer basic questions, that is not answering legal questions. Okay. Right. But if you don't know how to interpret a certain part of that contract and you're like basically explaining it in legalese, don't do that either. Okay. So in New Jersey, to avoid that, we have what's called an attorney review period. Okay. And as a matter of fact, in New Jersey, again, it's going to be different depending on what state you're located in. The first 3 or 4 or 5 paragraphs of the contract state that you should probably have an attorney review this with you. It was attorney prepared. Okay. So you made it through all your timelines. You made it through inspections. You made it through mortgage commitment. Okay. You are clear to close. This is exciting. This is the moment you've been waiting for, and you can exhale. Kind of. Let's make sure that the clear to close has been issued, guys. Okay. I don't want to just hear it from the lender. Put it in writing. Okay. Did the CD go out? Is it compliant with TRID? Okay. Are insurance policies in place? Has the final walkthrough been scheduled? Is the title company balanced with their numbers? Utilities, are they being prepared for transfer? Are address changes, are they in place for your client? Right? We're clear to close, but have we done all these things? Have we made sure all these things are in place? You're going to learn a lot of this through experience, guys. Right? You're going to. It's as simple as that. But some of these things, some of these details, that's why we have these calls. Right? Do I have everything listed here? No, but do I have the majority of it? Yes. Make sure that you are staying active, that you are remaining in active contact with your client through this process. Really important. But once that dotted line is signed, it is theirs. You then and only then have made it. Congratulations. Congratulations. This is one of the most fulfilling jobs in the world as far as I'm concerned. And I've done a lot of things. I really have. And nothing compares to this. And let's not forget, you got to ask for the review and the referral at the table. Yeah, you want to pop champagne, you want to take pictures. Guys, your clients are on cloud 9. They have just purchased or sold a home. They're happy. 9 times out of 10, they're happy, okay? So with that being said, 10 out of 10 for me, right? With exceptions. Let's ask. Let's ask for that review. Get them to verbally commit. Ask them at that point in time. Don't ask for referrals or reviews during the process, please. Save that. They don't want to give you referrals while they're working with you. They don't want you spending time with anybody else but them. Trust me. This is chess, not checkers. There's psychology behind this and why we ask. Win our clients. It could have been the roughest deal in the world. You make it to the table, they are thrilled. They are happy. They are elated, right? Now you ask for the referral and you ask for the review. Very important. Let's recap this. I'll make it super simple. The buyer consultation. What is the purpose? To educate, educate, educate. Please make your clients ask questions. Your job as a licensed real estate professional and therapist, just kidding. As a licensed real estate professional, you're a professional repeater. Let them know it's okay. I don't expect you to memorize all this. I want you to encourage them to ask you questions. Make them ask questions, guys. That's the purpose. Educate and asking questions, answering questions during the buyer consultation about the process. Home shopping, you got to work together. Guys, make sure that your clients are educated during the consultation to the point that they know that they're not contacting anybody but you for showings. How many nightmares? And I added this in the recap because I really wanted to emphasize on this. How many nightmares can you imagine I've heard? Yeah, weird. Like clients, they're on a contract with somebody else. But what? Yeah, apparently they just contacted the listing agent and they showed the home. Guys, we need to educate our clients on how we're paid when we're working with buyers. That it does not come out of their pocket. That the seller pays our commission. That I work for you for free, essentially. We work with you, not for you, with you, for free. You get all this for free. And I can open up any door that you'd like to see. You got to just send me the homes or contact me, no one else. Okay? Demonstrate your value. Offer an acceptance recap. And make sure there's no doubt in your clients' minds. If there is doubt before you're submitting that offer, what do you think is going to happen once it's accepted? Cold feet, regret, remorse? No, I'm not saying that they're not going to be nervous. Of course, especially if they're a first-time home buyer. But at the end of the day, we still have to make sure there's no doubt that they want to move forward with this. And if you've done a good job with that buyer consultation, really preparing your clients, there's not going to be any doubt. And keep an open line of communication with all professionals involved. You have to, guys. Hold the other professionals accountable. Even if they come from your preferred vendor list, hold them accountable. When I recommend a title company, I am holding them accountable. When I recommend a lender, I am holding them accountable. Inspector, accountable. Attorney, accountable. I cannot do their jobs for them. Okay? Even if my client is coming to me with all of this in place, I'm still going to hold them accountable. Even more so. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. Do your job. I'll do mine. You do yours. Let's work together for our client. We got a common goal. We have a mutual client here. Okay? Open line of communication. And then you got your journey to closing. Timelines and time is of the essence. These are contracts, people. We don't want to be in breach of. Make sure you present. Make sure you're present and there for your client through settlement. Very important. They're going to have questions. If you remember, things speed up to slow down. Things are moving so rapidly fast in the beginning. Paperwork, inspections, all of this. Then it slows down, right? There's a little lull there, depending on what, time frames. Is it a 45, 60-day close? Is it even longer? But with that being said, you still want to remain in contact and you want to be there for your client through the highs and the lows, the slows and the fasts, right? Because that's the way the process works. So that's just the recap. Most importantly, please, you got to believe in yourself. You are the licensed professional here, not them. You have to act like it. I tell our brand new agents, you fake it until you make it. Chest up, out, chin up, right? Puff it. You are the professional. Act like it. Act like it. Don't let them take control. Work together, not for. Work together and get the sale.